Hey guys, it's Caleb. Welcome back to yet another video, and today is going to be a quite special video because over the course of the years of speedrunning Final Fantasy VII, there's been one thing that has been unsolved for a very, very long time. There's been Cosmo Canyon skip, there's been guard skip, and a few other minor ones, but today there's this one that was unsolved for many, many years, and just last week you got figured out. But I'm not going to tell you what it is, because if I did, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's what it is, and then skip to the other, and that causes watch time to be less and all that. So I'm going to make you stick around for the rest of the video. So with this game, it's kind of held together by like tape. Well, it's a little more structured than that. Probably held together by like Gorilla Glue, and then like makes sound effects, and then like shit coming out of the bottle. Oh, I put Gorilla Glue in my hair. Am I famous now? But anyway, we've seen these skips be tried and done and optimized and revised and all this stuff. For example, Cosmo Canyon skip. If you want to watch these other versions of Cosmo Canyon skip, these other videos I have, they'll be somewhere on the screen. I'm not really sure, but they're there. And if you guys want to watch those, you can see like how Cosmo Canyon skip was something really complicated and like not even remotely beginner friendly whatsoever to something that anybody can do. And guard skip was the same way. It was really complicated, and all these other skips too. However, if you see a couple of these skips, they utilize a chocobo, and yes, a chocobo is probably the most powerful thing in the game at this point, because it allows us to just break it entirely. What we did with the Cosmo Canyon skip was use the chocobo. We got one in battle, and then got to a certain in-game time. We had to use an actual timer to see like what we were on in-game time, and it was just a nightmare. But anyway, we would use the chocobo, the flag, in order to get no encounters and then bypass Cosmo Canyon skip that way, but obviously we don't have to do that whatsoever anymore. However, a few members of the community, Davesterio, Zheal, Kuma, and a few more, have figured out the holy grail, the unsolved skip in Final Fantasy VII speedrunning, and is now in action. Let's go ahead and dive in. Before we dive into the video, I just want to remind everybody, once again, that more than half of you are not subscribed to the channel. I don't know what that's about. So, if you don't mind, please hit the subscribe button and like if you want a little extra bonus points. So, today, we're going to be talking about the brand new, unsealed, fresh out the box Kalm skip. Kalm skip, what it refers to is being able to skip Kalm. That's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. No, but the reason Kalm skip was a really complicated skip, or just in general, that people were trying to solve, was mainly because there was one line of code. And recently, runners and glitch hunters and stuff, they were trying to crack the code of the Kalm skip, but they never really could because of one line of code. And they had to deal with the fact that, well, here, whenever you go into the cave, you get this message that tells you that, well, you gotta go to Kalm no matter what you do, and you can't really bypass it. And yeah, that one line of code had to deal with that text box, and yeah, they weren't really able ever to get it. But recently, those people that I mentioned earlier, some of them were able to find out how to actually skip Kalm, and again, he was using the chocobo. However, there was a guy named Kuma who's not even a runner. He just does a lot of glitch hunting and stuff like that. He sent a video, which I will show here, and there's no sound on this, but basically what it's showing is that he is going out of bounds somehow and popping up on the other side, thus skipping Kalm. However, to his misfortune, he was never able to replicate it again. And it was like that with Cosmo Canyon skip as well. Whenever he showed the new setup, he was like, I was able to bypass the trigger. I'm not really sure how, but of course, when there's a will, there's a way with speedrunners. If they see something and they have trouble replicating it, well, you can count on them to be able to replicate it again. So simply, how this is done is you're going to do the regular process of going all the way down, except, well, you're not going to go to Kalm anymore, which is still quite weird to me because it is it's just been a normal thing to do for a long time now in speedrunning. But yeah, of course, you're going to do this, blah, 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 get into a few encounters and, you know, do all that stuff. And these encounters can't really be avoided too well. You just kind of have to pray. And then, yeah. And then, of course, because we're going to be buying Chocobo, we got to go talk to this guy. And he's like, hey, I'll teach you how to build a Chocobo, man. You got to get a Chocobo, man. But you just get one of these greens. And, well, you got to sell all your stuff first so you can buy the greens. And then you go outside. And then you just catch a Chocobo just like this, right? Of course, the deal is whenever you get a Chocobo, you definitely have to expend a little more resources into killing these guys. That's what you're used to. So, you know, you want to use bio or, you know, whatever. If you have extra grenades, that's even better. Or, you know, expend limits. Just do whatever you got to do. And then once you do that, you get your merry way there, and then you get your Chocobo. Really cool. Okay. And then just cross the marsh and you skip Kalm. No, that's not quite it. You still need to watch out for the Zheal. So what I didn't actually know whenever I was practicing all this stuff was I didn't know that you could get caught by the Zheal on the Chocobo. Hey, more you know. Now, so this next step might be outdated by the time this video actually produces, but really what you're going to do is you're going to park the Chocobo kind of outside on the swamp, but like not quite on the grass, but, you know, just a little bit. And then what you have to do is, again, this is the pain in the ass part, which they're trying to figure out how to not do because it really is terrible. What you need to do is, well, first off, go into the cave, grab long range, then come out, and then you have to cross the swamp from the cave side, and then what you have to do is cross back, and there's a reason why you have to do that. So first off, what I'm going to say is the best way to go about doing the Zheal crossing portion is to set an in-game time that you are comfortable with getting to, like on the run, or just in practice. It doesn't really matter. But in this case, I have one that's set for 1:37:14 right here. So I'm gonna leave and then go. And if you want more stuff about in-game timer, you can check out my Cosmo Canyon video whenever I talk about how to do it the old and shitty way. But anyway, what that allows me to do is cross with no problems at all. And it makes it very, very consistent, easy. But the whole reason that we have to do this in general is because, well, what we're going to do is a really complicated thing, and we're going to get into a battle with the Zheal, but mount the Chocobo at the exact same time. So that's why we have to cross this part, because what's going to end up happening is the battle, when we run away, will still be on the Chocobo, but will also be on this side, and that's really important. So again, we're going to wait, then we're going to have Zheal bump against the wall, of course. Just like this. Then I'm going to make a save state, and hopefully I get, okay. So then what's going to happen is I'm going to mount. Okay. It's a very tricky button press here. It's almost, yeah, so you have to get into the battle. You have to get into the battle with the Zheal at the same time as you mount the Chocobo here. And again, this method is probably going to be a lot easier by the time this video is out, and I'll talk about that whenever it gets released. See, it creates it's a bit complicated. This is the hardest part of this entire trick, by the way. There we go. See, and you know that you got it because you hear the music. So at this point, you're just gonna hit the oh shit button and just run away. And again, I'm going to explain why it's really important, because here, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna appear on this side, and boom. Now, let's get to the other portion of why this has to happen. So normally whenever you get a Chocobo that isn't yours, aka if you buy a stable and then catch the Chocobo, put it in the stable, it'll be permanently yours, and if you get off of it, it won't run away. However, because we caught this Chocobo and we didn't put it in a stable, normally what would happen is if we get off the Chocobo, it would just run away. However, because of this method, whenever we get into the battle with the Zalem and then cross and then touch the grass, what the game does is it puts us onto this other side, eliminating the flag for, well, you can get off get off and on the chocobo as many times as you want, and it won't run away. So as you can see here, I'm gonna get off of the chocobo, and okay, so this dialogue box right here is the game-breaking dialogue, and I'll show you why. You notice how Cloud moves a little bit whenever he gets off of the chocobo there. That right there is just enough, and it just so happens that because of this text box, which is what we need, which is why we're doing this entire thing in the first place, is why this Kalm skip is going to work, and I'll show you why. So this next part isn't too hard at all, actually. It's quite safe. And this is going to blow your mind. So really what you want to do is you want to go all the way past Midgar, and then here you want to bump across this mountain, okay? Then, so you know that you messed up, because what you have to do is you have to go down, and then you have to bump along the mountain just like that, and then just like, okay, so you notice how I moved down and then I got moved up a little bit? That's how you know that you did it correctly. And it's really easy to set up because that mountain will put you in the exact perfect position. Okay? So then here, notice that movement? So what we have to do is we have to do this again. And what I like to do is this. I like to run along the beach here, and much like Cosmo Canyon skip, the subpixels of this trick are incredibly precise. So what you do is you do this, and it's kind of set up and it's not very precise at all. And you want to do that same thing where you bump against the mountain like that, okay? And then do that thing where you move down, and then look at that. We get off the chocobo and we're out of bounds, and voila! If you hold down right, you have officially skipped Kalm. Speedrunning is fucking crazy, man. Seriously. And so here, after you skip Kalm, you have to say goodbye to your game-breaking chocobo and then make your merry way to Junon, and yeah, everything's nice. You go in and fight bottoms well, and you save roughly about 15 minutes or so. So, you might ask, you know, okay, that was cool and all, but what does that do for the run? Well, to be honest, it does a lot for it. The issue is with skipping other crucial parts of the run, like Cosmo Canyon skip or even guard skip, is that, you know, step counts and maybe lack of EXP really can just completely change the run as a whole. However, Kalm doesn't really have any... It doesn't really offer much to the run at all, besides some story and some bad RNG with, you know, the Dragon and Life 2s. And it's just a big, long cutscene, and there's no EXP obtained, so it's pretty huge that we can skip Kalm. So, yeah, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And what's even better is that the method to do it is friendly for pretty much anybody. If anybody wants to try this or anything, they can do it. And it's just very, very accessible. Of course, the method to do this is being optimized as we speak, and by the time I put out this video, that chocobo crossing method is probably going to be very obsolete, and that's fine, because it's only just going to be faster, right? Another thing, too, you might ask is, well, how can you mess this up? Let me show you. So first off, when doing this, you have to be very wary of your positioning. As you can see, it's very precise. The first one is quite easy, the first setup. However, the second setup is a lot more precise. So it probably looks a little goofy as to why I'm trying to do this, right? Why am I going up all this way? Well, the reason for that is because subpixels in this game are quite finicky. And you can see here, if I do this, then it doesn't work. So the positioning has to be incredibly precise, and this is really nice because of this entire setup. So we just do this real quick, right? Now, whenever we're going all the way, make sure to bump and then include a diagonal somewhere in there, because from what I've noticed is that this is how it works. But then, sometimes that'll happen too, right? That'll happen, and then you get moved down, whereas you were supposed to be moved up, right? So, a good way to back this up is just to do this right here, right? And then you get yourself in a position, and then you can quip again. But yeah, there's that but in the video, right? Let me tell you something else you're gonna want to know. So this is the world map of FF7. The way it works is it's divided into quadrants. So you see this one square, and then another square, another square, another square. That's how it's divided in the game. So here we have M, Midgar, J is Kalm, U is the ranch, and then Y is Junon. What happens is, if you do the Kalm skip, but don't move in a correct way, what you will actually do is get yourself I can't talk. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get yourself stuck in one of these quadrants, and I'll show you a really good example of that. So here we're gonna do the skip just like normal, but I'm going to move outside, and just see right here, I got stuck in one of the quadrants here, and now I'm soft locked, and the only thing I can do is just a bunch of rafflecopters, and that's really bad for us, right? So you must make damn sure that you don't do that. I don't really know how you can accidentally do that. Also, if you get into an encounter in the water here at a specific point, you can also have some bad stuff happen to you. But as long as you're on land and you get in encounters, which is probably going to happen anyway, you'll be fine. And just like that, we were able to skip Kalm through some vigorous methods and able to save about what seems to be about 15 minutes and a lot of RNG and tech smashing and heartbreak. And yeah, that about wraps it up for Kalm skip. Since the trick is pretty new, there's not a ton of knowledge on it right now. Like, we don't really know why we clip through the out of bounds and everything, but one thing is for certain, that it could potentially open up more areas that we could use to skip the game. Who knows? Might be able to skip all the way to end of the game with this. Who knows? But for now, we just use it to skip Kalm. And yeah, that is Kalm skip, everybody. Crazy ride it's been. Over the years of speedrunning FF7, I've seen the game crumple, I've seen it develop, and I've seen massive skips, failures, PBs, and many more. I really look forward to what can come from this, and see how the speedrun of Final Fantasy VII can evolve even more. And I highly doubt this is the last video I'll make like this. I look forward to the next video that I make very similar to this, and once again, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a wild ride speedrunning FF7 from here on out, getting that sub 7, and well, here's to many more PBs from here. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, follow the channel. I'm not on Twitch, you can't follow. So you subscribe, and then maybe I'll get a join button at some point. But anyway, guys, take it easy. Have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you happen to be, and I'll see you guys in the next video.